So I have this really annoying fan sound. The air conditioning or the heating is working perfectly fine. The only thing is this fan noise. I'm not sure if you can really hear it properly, but it's kind of louder than the engine itself. It's just the fan noise, so again everything else is working fine, but since it hears or it appears to be like a fan, it must be the blower motor. And I'm going to attempt to change it. Maybe if I switch the engine off, you can actually hear it even better. So. Alright, so replacing the blower motor, which is behind this glove box. Now before starting, just a bit of a disclaimer. So I'm no expert and no professional mechanic. It's just my hobby. I like to tear down my BMW and then put it back together. I do have next to me ISTA. This is 2018, December 2017 actually, X5 F15 version. So I'm guessing that this should be similar to all models from this year range. Before attempting this, actually, I spent a lot of time on online on different forums, because I was unsure what part to buy. So I only like to put original parts in my car, but in this case there were a lot of people on different forums mentioning that they suppose when the car was already under warranty, they went to the dealer so they replaced the blower motor, and 1 month later they had the same sound, same issue. So I'm guessing, according to so many cases, I'm guessing that it's kind of a faulty piece, and that BMW installed in their cars. But this time I decided to simply buy an aftermarket one, and it was quite cheap. I mean, you paid €100 on it. The original part is 250, so I said I'm not gonna spend €250 on an original part that pretty much would have the same issue in a couple of months. So before attempting anything, you should disconnect the battery negative cable. Now, if you really go by the book, particularly if you have the knee airbag here, mine does not have the knee airbag. As I said, do this at your own risk. Again, I'm no expert, but yeah, maybe you find some tips and tricks. According to the manual, there's a lot of steps to consider beforehand. So first you have to remove this trim here. This trim, it's actually one piece, and then the next steps is to disconnect, to remove the central information display and those two units here. To be honest, and then of course if you're attempting to disconnect this, then again you should disconnect the battery cable. Now in my case, I to be honest, I don't see, I mean, I'm sure that that the German engineers had something in mind when they put all those steps together, but from my point of view, I don't really see why I should disconnect the central information display and those two units here in order to take down, the blower motor and the glove box. There's a lot of cables, there's a lot of screws, there's a lot of trims, so I don't really want to feel like messing around with all of them. I was just going to attempt to take down the glove box and see if it's space enough. I mean, if it's needed, then to disconnect, then I will take them off, but at this point in time I will try to disconnect it without removing the central information display and those two units. A bit of an advice, I mean, I had to find a space, a spot around my house with a lot of sun. I highly recommend, whenever you're working with trims, particularly inside trims, don't attempt it in a cold season or outside when it's cold, because you will break a lot of clips and a lot of plastic trims. So I had to park a bit first the car somewhere, you know, on the sun, just because, yeah, I want to have like a bit of heat here, so then everything is a lot easier to remove. So I don't want to break any clips or something like this. All right, one out. Okay. Oh, okay, that was easy. Easy. And really work your way around. Okay. I need to take those lugs out completely. All right. So I disconnected the main trims, removed the main trims. Pretty straightforward. So this instrument cluster trim that is here, you just have to pull it towards you. Has those 4 pins here for clips here. So make sure that also when you install them back, they're correctly seated and nothing is broken. Then the next thing that I took out is this aluminium lookalike trim from this. Quite easy. So first you have to pry it out here very gently, and then from the back here, and then it comes towards you like this, so without damaging anything. And then you can start working on the main piece. Yeah. It's also quite easy. So you should start first of all at this side here, pry it out easily with the trim tool, so on the glove box, so then you don't damage the leather. And then you take it like this, and then you work your way around to the back and to the start stop button. So it has a lot of clips, pins, 2 here, 2 here, 3 on this side here, and then there's a main one here. This actually goes out, and enter it and pull it back together. So this is the main one that enters here, I think, here. And then you just simply have to disconnect those wirings from the start button and from the central safety thing here. It's quite simple. Basically, you just have to clip and pull up, so you don't have to do something special. Now the next thing to do, in order to remove the glove box, you have to remove this vent here that has I think 4 screws. Now I have after you remove this, then you're able to access the screws that are holding the glove box above, and then you have the screws behind, and there's 1 screw here. However, I hope I'm wrong, let's see, but I might have discovered why it is necessary to remove the central information display, because you need to pull this out a bit, and of course in order to pull this part here, then of course you cannot do it while this is screwed on. So I'm going to remove those screws first, and let's see if it's possible to remove this without working on this side. There's a plastic thing that holds it, so I'm not sure if I will be able to remove it, but let's see. I really don't want to remove this part and this one. Okay, so those are some 10-15s. I highly recommend to do this manually. Everything is plastic here, so if you use a screwdriver, you know, it's different torques, so you might damage, you know, and then it will not stay properly seated afterwards. So I like to do this by hand, because I really feel, you know, how strong I should screw or unscrew. Okay, Okay, so it's just held in by clips. So I think I might got lucky. I don't have to remove this. You just have to apply a bit of force. I advise to put the back the screws, because I see that there are different dimensions, so you don't wanna put them in the wrong place, because they have different lengths. So I'm just gonna put them slowly back. Okay, so I found out why you need to remove the central information display. So in order to remove the glove box, there's a screw behind this one. You need to remove this trim. I just put back the screws just so I know where they are, because where they're placed, because they are different dimensions and I don't want to mix them up. But in order to remove the glove box, you need to remove this trim. You cannot remove it because there's this plastic thing that holds it. You could be able to remove those screws from the glove box by just prying this out, but that is really flimsy, so I don't wanna break it. So then I will have to go by the book, because in order to remove this, then you have to remove this one, and then this whole piece should come out towards you a bit. So I'm just gonna do that. So there's 2 screws, 1, 2, and then you have those screws here, 1, 2, and then you can kind of take this. Also here, this is the LED strip, so I don't wanna damage anything, so I'm just gonna go by the book then, and see if it allows me, to take this off. I am not going to disconnect the cable, because now I should be able to move this a bit. So let's see if it works. Well, that's perfect. So it just moves a bit. You don't have to take it completely out, because it just moves a bit. So then now we should have space to remove this. Okay. Okay, so after all, the German engineers had a point then. Oh, one more thing. In order to remove this, it's held by the piece here, by this piece, but this is really easy. So again, it has those tabs. You just pry it out here easily, and then once it gets out, then you can access the screw and then remove it inwards. This is again, so this sits behind the rubber band, so you should be able to put it back quite easily. Okay, so now we can attempt to remove the glove box. So there is 1, 2, 3, 4 screws, 5 here, and then you have the ones behind. In order to access the ones below, you have just those 2 90 degrees screws. So first remove the screws, and then 3 actually, so there's another one in the middle. So those 3, and then this, and then this comes right out. It should come at least. So you have to pull it towards you a bit. Yeah. So it's holding by those 2 clips here that enter in this hole. I should remove the pin from the light, and then there you go, this thing out. Okay, so now again, the version with the knee airbag, on the cars with knee airbag, again remove the battery. So here you should have, instead of this thing, you should have the knee airbag. Yeah, remove the battery negative cable before removing the knee airbag. I don't have the knee airbag, so currently I just have those two screws here. Okay, so they have never been unscrewed. They have the blue paste. So it has 1, 2, 3, 4 taps. Quite easy. And the next thing is to remove the glove box. So now we have the 4 screws above, 4 screws below, T15. Okay, so the glove box sits on this thing, so you just have to push it up a bit and then gently pull it towards you, and then it comes out quite easily. And then there's a lot of cables, so from the light of the glove box, also this one here, so you should be careful while removing them not to damage anything. So I'll just gently use a pry tool to remove everything, and then slowly take the glove box out. So quite easy. This one here, there's a big one, you just have to push this clip here. I'll show you in a second. So this thing enters like this, so you just have to gently press this and then it releases. Okay, so now it should be able to take it out completely. Let's see. Come on, stay. Excuse the poor quality of videos. Again, I'm no expert, so place in here and voila, we have successfully removed the glove box. So glove box successfully removed. We should gently place it somewhere so we don't scratch it. Everything is leather. All right, and this is the culprit. Yeah, so this is the blower motor. Now the next thing that it's recommended to do, so I think just to have a bit of space to remove it, because again it's quite tight, you have to remove those screws here, 1, 2, and the third one, I think the one above, simply to have a bit more space while trying to pry out this. Before that, you need to remove the screws here that holds this plastic wind channel. So you have 1, 2 screws, I think, 325s, and that should be right about it. So let's just first try to take out those things out, and let's see what happens next. Can remove this plastic part, so this just enters into another channel, the main channel, so you just have to push it back together. Now we have full access to the blower. All right, so after removing the lower air vent below, actually before that you should have removed those 3, and now it kind of all fits together. Why you also have to remove this trim. I will try to remove it, to remove the blower without removing also the panel here, But I'm guessing the whole point of removing also the panel is to be able to move the entire dashboard a bit towards the inside of the car, so that you have a lot of space to move this thing out. So I'm going to see if it's possible, you know, to remove this without also removing the dashboard, because otherwise you will damage this. So it simply does not have space, you know, to remove this. So basically those 3 screws, 1, 2 and 3, are holding together the entire dashboard on this right side. They have a torque spec, so I'm gonna torque them back at 8 Newton meters. And then let's see if these things work out. Okay, so I removed those 2 screws that are holding this part of dashboard. Those will have to be tightened on spec, so there's an 8 Newton meter torque spec on those. So by removing them you have a bit more space. Very careful, don't pry it here on this side because it might snap. It's a very thin plastic, so you have to leverage your way a bit here on this side. So the next thing I will do, I will unscrew the blower motor. So it has 3 screws basically, 1, 2, 3, and then 4. This one here that you can access through this part. Then unplug the cable, and then the whole piece should come right down. Let's see if it will have space, if I have enough space by gently prying this out a bit. If not, I will have to take out then also this piece here, so that it removes the entire dashboard to create even more space. Moving forward, so every time I try to cut a shortcut, you know, then again the manual proves me wrong. Everything has a logic. So this piece has to go out, because while removing those screws you can remove actually this dashboard a bit towards the inner of the car, interior of the car, and then you have a bit more space to move around the blower. As you can see, it's quite tight, so there's simply not enough space. After you disconnect this plug, it's really easy. You just have to press this tab here with a pick tool. The connector goes out from the blower. Be careful, there are some very flimsy pins, guide pins. There's one here, there's another one here. You should be careful not to destroy them, but I'm afraid that let's see. So this is the maximum that I can pull, and it simply does not have space enough, because they have this big chunk that goes out. So I will have to remove now this part, so then hopefully this whole thing goes. I think it just needs like 2-3 centimeters, but I'm afraid to really pull it because I really don't want to damage it here or here. So everything will go out. So this has to go out, everything else. First, this part has some very nasty clips, just 2 clips and 2 guide pins that enter below. You just have to pry it out, so you have to put something in. Luckily I had space to put something from behind here, but otherwise I was afraid I'm gonna damage this part. And then this thing just pulls out towards you. It has 4 clips. If I remove this screw here, then this whole thing, it becomes a bit more flexible. Now the radio unit should slide right out. If you want to disconnect everything, So all the cables in behind, you should disconnect the battery cable, but I figured that I figured that I would just try to leave them hanging without remove them completely. So now let's see if it's working or not. This also has a torque spec. There we go. Okay, this thing is out. All right, blower is out. It was quite a trip. I spent, I spent a couple of good hours, 4 or 5 hours, but that is because I really don't want to break anything, like any plastic, particularly on this dashboard area, because then you will have all those quick kick noises, while you're driving the car, and I really want to avoid that. And what does not make sense for me is why should I remove the trim here, the display and the radio. I was hoping that by removing them, then this whole piece kind of gets out a bit towards the inner of the car, so then you have a bit more space, while pushing that, while taking this out. But this is just welded into plastic, so even by removing the screws behind, there's simply it's not budging at all. So the only way to do it, I just carefully pried this out until I had a bit of space. So I hope this is the culprit of my nasty sound. The new unit does not come with the regulator, so I just have to swap this to the new part. I just have to remove the controller here by tapping this small pin here, so it gets out freely. 2 screws, unit pops out, and then you should be able to put it back on the new unit. So looking forward to get it tomorrow and then install it. Again, this one doesn't make any weird noises now. Maybe just a bit, but I don't know. Also, it doesn't have any play. Let's see. And then tomorrow new bits comes in, and then put everything back together. Okay, next day, sun is still shining. A new part just arrived. Let's mention Nissan, it's a Danish producer. Funny, this one looks even louder than the original piece, but still everything is teared down. Let's try to put it in the car. Okay, so I swapped the regulator from the original piece, from the original part to this one. Again, it's really 2 screws. Just bear in mind it's plastic, so you don't have to go crazy on them. And then the other thing that you have to be aware, this thing here should be flush, so you have to really insert it until it's flush to the plastic thingy. By the way, the part number, in case anyone is interested. So it's this, and this is the code. So I checked that this production code matches the OEM, the original part code, which is here. I'm not sure if you can see it, but it's this 658 at the beginning, I think. Made in Mexico. Okay, I thought it's French. Valeo, it's a French one. Now, it was really cold last night here. I think we had 0 degrees. A bit strange for this time of the year in Germany. Even though I left the car a bit in the sun, this lower part here is still kind of cold and rigid. So since I was not able to undo everything and move this part, I will have to again try to pry it out very, very carefully, but I have to be a bit resourceful, and then I will hit this part a bit. I will not use a heat gun because I think the heat gun will simply melt everything, so I will just steal my wife's hair blower, so then I can really hit this part here and this part, which will take the most of let's say shock one. I'll try to put this easily back. Okay, this should be enough. Now let's try to put it back easily and steadily. Okay, so I managed to block my neighbor. I had to move the car. That was nice. With all these things apart. All right. One piece in. This was easier than expected, so I managed to put it back without destroying anything, without damaging anything, those pins. Now it's basically have to lift it up and put the first screws. I am happy. All right, so one blower motor into place. So all the screws I actually have to check if there's any torque spec recommended for those screws, but it's none specified, so that means that it's just good and tight. But remember, I mean, it's in plastic, so you don't have to go crazy on them. Put back the plugs. So there are in total, once more time, this upper screw, second, third, fourth and fifth, and then you have 2 more holes for that air duct that it's sitting here. So one here. But yeah, now everything is in place, good and tight. As said, yeah, you really have to make sure that you respect everything, because this is really like half a capsule. So once you put it correctly back, there's this guiding pin, and also here there's like a guiding part. It should properly seal everything. Now I decided actually to make a test before assembling everything. I would really like to start the car and see if it's working, before putting back everything together. Start the engine. Improvise once more time. So we just connect the start-stop button. So just pull the plug back in, clip it into place, and start the engine. Okay. And we do have air coming in, no crazy noise or sounds coming out. That means that the blower is correctly fitted and connected. Job well done, me happy. Okay, so that means that the blower it's correctly fitted. It's now time to put everything back together, but before that I will take my blower and really blow like all the dust around, and then also try to wipe everything a bit, and then put everything back together step by step, and then run one final test, and then of course also clear all the codes, because yeah, I had to move the car with everything unplugged. So I suppose now I have like 100 errors. You can see already the passenger restraint system already is not, it's on. Something with pedestrian I saw as well. But yeah, so far I think it's a cool. So far I'm happy. All right, so let's clean everything and then put everything back together. Okay, nice and clean-ish. It is better than before. Now it's time to put everything back together. Everything in reverse order. Everything is plastic, so I will just use again the hand screwdriver. I will not use a electric screwdriver, because you will simply damage all the threads. There's no torque specs anywhere except for those two screws that are holding the dashboard. 3. I also did this one. It's 8 Newton meters. So I will use my I have a small torque wrench that I use for my e-bike, and then I will use that to torque according to spec. Everything else it's basically good and tight, not to damage again. You don't have to go crazy. Yeah, small correction actually, there are just 5 screws that you have to torque them according to spec. So those 3 that keep the dashboard, and also those 2 here that I unscrew them a bit to just have a bit of more room. 8 Newton meters, and then I will tighten them, and then everything else it's good and tight. There's also a torque spec on the screws of the seat. So those 2 screws you need to tighten to 1.8 Newton meters, or 2 Newton meters. That means very, very, very gently, and then all the rest should go by hand. I just want to check if everything is properly seated, and apparently it is. So now it's just a matter of pressing those 4 pins back in their original position. This lower part with the USB, and voila, so it should enter under this a bit. I have to move again the car. Let's continue to put in the glove box.
Look at the sky.
Okay, so one glove box piece into place. Okay, so this lower section, it's ready. So I put everything back together, including this one. Everything is sturdy, nothing is quicking. So we just have to put in the final two pieces, the big one here and the one from the instrument cluster. Yeah, so I forgot to put the 2 screws. Shit, I got to put the 2 screws from the navigation. Yeah. Fuck. With this last piece, everything is back together. All right, so the car is back together, and I am happy to report no more sound. So now you just hear the air blowing. Basically, you don't hear that the blower anymore. I cleared all the errors because yeah, everything was red. I mean, I moved the car while everything was disconnected. But I'm really happy with the end result. That really annoying sound is gone. It was not easy, not very difficult, but also not easy. I mean, I basically spent almost 2 half days simply because I really wanted to be to take the time and be careful and not to break any clips. I'm pretty sure that if you'd go to a mechanic, I mean to someone who doesn't care about the car, there's no way you're not gonna destroy any clips. So but it can be done at home. You just have to basically be very careful and take your time. Don't rush. Follow the steps step by step, and then you should have a very good end result. I'm happy that nothing was broken. So everything is put together. It's not scratched, not broken. Everything is put together in the original form. And then I hope that this new piece that I installed will last. So yeah, I hope that you found this useful in case you wanted to replace your blower motor. Then this video would help, hopefully help you, make your life a bit easier.